for me, walking out into the landscape of America, because I love history so much, is really about understanding the ways in which America has invested in creating what we see today.
Yes.
And I say this to people all the time: we accept the physical landscape as though it is inevitable and not as though it were created by a series of decisions and investments.
Yeah.
And unpeeling that narrative of equality and investments, I think, is really important. When people say to me, you know, my family never had slaves, you know, we were always nice people, we're not implicated in any of this, I just find it to be really astonishing. I mean, here we are all in the same country. You move into a neighborhood, you turn on the water comes out of the pipe. Your grandparents didn't make the pipes in that city, but you accept the water that comes out of the pipe. I mean, there are all these ways in which we accept the advantages of wherever we are, right? You come to this country, your parents or your grandparents are immigrants. We all still have a cookout on Memorial Day, even though your parents and grandparents didn't serve in World War II. We do all these things. We take all the benefits, all the good memories, all the things that make us great. You know, you do your President's Day shopping, but when it comes to the other part of the history, that also is part of our history that we have to take responsibility for, whether it's lynching or whether it's the fact that part of the reason that you were able to live the life, or your parents to live the life that they live, is because this country decided after World War II to make a massive investment in creating the white middle class, that they did it through the GI Bill, that it was billions of dollars of the interstate highway that allowed suburbs to be made to create this world that we think, you know, is some time we want to make America great about again. It's like Wally and the Beaver and all that stuff. And all of that was created by massive investments, things that were not available for black people because it was not to create the black suburbs. And if you had the GI Bill, you couldn't move into any neighborhood.
Right.
You couldn't buy a house in any neighborhood. And the FHA, once they started insuring mortgages in the 1930s, created redlining and would not allow integrated neighborhoods, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And these were all government programs.
And these were all government programs.
Government
so to the
programs.
extent you're hearkening your mind back to some lovelier time, to understand that that time was constructed. And now, here's the thing. I'm not even saying, like, let's deconstruct it. I'm saying we have the power with investments to make the society we want to make. In the 1950s, we decided to make it, and we made it. We made something that everybody recognizes: the winding road, the cul-de-sac, the interstate highway, the Levittowns that wouldn't have let black people live there but got all the tax development breaks and so forth. Let's suppose we took a different tack today. Let's suppose we wanted to create a society in which we limited the disparities in equality, in which people had access to housing, in which people had access to homes, in which there was rapid public transportation outside of New York City and other big cities. We could do it the same way we did what we did in the 1950s. So my piece is to get people to understand that it's not just about feelings, that it's about investments, that investments follow your direction as a society.
And those are the choices that we make.
Right. That's right.